We're excited about getting to work today. The opportunity to have the whole team on the field, and I know the guys are excited about it. And just go try to find some rhythm and timing as we go.
Kind of going into this year, what's the biggest thing you're telling the guys? Because I know last year you had a lot of experience. This year, kind of maybe getting some new guys kind of in the mix this time.
I don't know that we're there yet as far as like what you're talking about. What are we telling them? I mean, biggest thing right now is to stick with what you do each day and the process of, putting yourself and putting your body in position to have some success. And also, between the ears, playing the game one pitch at a time. And probably the simplest thing for us is exactly that. And understand you're going out to practice baseball physically to get better mentally.
It's just how nice is it to kind of have a guy like Josh coming back, Gabe coming back, Caleb coming back, just to kind of have some guys cheating.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's real nice. I mean, all these guys, you got Killian and John, and there's quite a few of them. I mean, those guys are going to show up every day. They love to play baseball, and a lot of fun to watch.
Just based off individual training, do you have an idea of where your strength is at early on in the season?
We've got really good team speed. We've got really good arms. We ought to be able to defend a little bit. We've got some guys put together quality at-bats. You'd like to think base running is going to be something that's there each and every day, and you'd like to think defense is going to be there each and every day. And you're going to run into those guys on the mound that make it tough on you. If I had to pick one thing out, though, I think these guys are excited about playing baseball, and that's probably the number one thing you want to have as your, as your strength. You take guys like Killian and John and Gabe and Josh, all those guys. It kind of tugs at them to play the game, and as long as they love playing and they get enjoyment out of it, we're going to be just fine.
Kind of off of that, with how much you lost from last year's team, how long does it take for you as a coach to really find the identity of the team and what their strengths and weaknesses are?
Oh, I think you're talking about the whole season. I mean, you start trying to find your identity. I know spring training, they talk about 30 games. You don't really find rhythm and timing until about that time. But identity, I mean, really, you get that by, you have some success, you have some failure along the way, and that's something you can't just you can't just make it up.
The pitching staff, other than Caleb, I guess what are you kind of looking forward to? A lot of new guys, kind of just kind of there, just kind of competing for spots.
I tell you, I mean, there's a lot of physical ability there. There's a lot of guys that have had a lot of success. We're excited about today, about getting them out here and watching. We got 6 guys going today. Excited about that. Excited about the other ones taking some PFP, and not in any big hurry for those roles to be defined. There's a number of guys on this staff that could start. There's a number of them that could, play significant roles out of the bullpen and be able to shorten games. So I think anytime we give the ball to any of them, we've got confidence they can go get people out.
How are you guys health-wise going into today's practice? I know Gabe was held out during fall. Is he good to go?
Was that a question for Gabe or for the whole group?
It was the whole group. Both.
Okay, they're all good.
Speaking of Gabe Holt, what are some things that you're looking for in these next few practices for him to improve on?
Oh, I think Gabe's always. All of us are work in progress, are we not? And so, you start talking about Gabe, you're talking about a guy with 70 to 80 speed. And so every time he gets on first base, he should steal second. So, yeah, that's one thing. The short game's something that a guy like him, if you had him in rookie ball, you'd be going, hey, short game needs to be part of your deal. And so that's something that, and then obviously, just finding rhythm and timing with your swing on January 25th and separating balls and strikes is something that is the hardest thing in the world to do. And so hitting a baseball, obviously that's probably the number one thing. Just separate balls and strikes, control what you can, and get your pitch.
Do you see Gabe as an outfielder, an infielder, or a combination?
I see him as a baseball player. I'd never have any reservation about playing Gabe in the infield. Short, second, third. He's played short his whole life. He's playing in the outfield right now. I know we played him at short some. That was kind of our choice, more so than his. We just wanted to see it, and it actually looked good. I mean, he's a really good baseball player. So what I see him as, a good baseball player that gets on base a lot and can really disrupt some things.
Who would the other options be at short?
Drew Baker, Dylan Noisy, Brian Klein. I guess you could throw Josh in there if you wanted. Easton Merle, you could throw him in there. Parker Kelly, throw him in there. It is carpet. I mean, we're playing 34 games on carpet. So, at home. And so then you can add up the ones on the road, surely. Can't be too hard.
Speaking of Merle, are both of the Arkansas transfers eligible to play?
They are.
Okay.
Just with John, I guess, what are you kind of looking from him? I know you talk about baseball players, looking at him as a pitcher, a hitter. I guess, what are you looking for this year?
I mean, I keep trying to talk the guy into swinging the bat, but he's ready to be a full-time pitcher. It wouldn't surprise me at all in a situation where the matchup's right, where I tell him get a bat and go pinch hit, but right now he's a pitcher.
Back to the two Arkansas transfers, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get when they change locations like that, but how big of a gift was that for the program to get two guys like that coming from the College World Series to be able to have an impact right away?
Oh, I think perception is it's a big get. I don't think you really know. I mean, I think perception of recruiting classes, looking at them on paper, is a big get. Like, we have never committed a guy we weren't excited about. But I think you really don't know what you have until you get into playing baseball games. And, you know, reality of it is they left there. And reality of it is when a guy transfers, everything isn't rosy. So those guys got to get their feet on the ground and kind of figure out how to be what they once were, if that makes sense. Which is really all we ask them to do. We're not asking them to reinvent themselves. Just go be who you are.
Just in terms of the outfield coach, I guess, what are you kind of looking forward to that? I know Max has been a guy that kind of stepped up in the fall. I guess who are some other guys that are kind of raising some eyebrows that kind of caught your eye? So
well, it's interesting on our roster right now. I think there's 5 total. To answer your question, Otremba played a really good right field late in the fall. He's always hit. There's a number of infielders that could go out there. And there's maybe, you know, Stillwell probably could go out there if he had to. Braxton could go out there if he had to. So, probably the guy that stood out, you know, that is in that group would be Otremba, though.
Coach, I noticed one of them sitting outside the stadium walking in, one of those scooters. They had an issue in Austin with that. Are you guys kind of telling the players to stay away from that type of stuff?
We did tell them that, and you know, we'll send our best to Hamilton. He's a great player, great young man, and I hate to even have to answer the question because it's like we're taking a jab at the scooter, and I've wanted to get on one of those things since we've had them. So hadn't yet. I can't figure out how to get the app.
Have you been in contact with any of the guys, like Grant or any of the guys that were left after last year?
Quite a few of those guys have been around.
Yeah.
Quite a few of those guys are in town. Like Reams will probably hit with us today. Grant swung the bat. Davis has been around. I'm leaving some guys out, but most of those guys have been around.
I really just like playing baseball. The whole pitching versus hitting thing kind of came down to, and you know, it's still open for discussion, but it just kind of came down to what the team needed more. And I feel like for this year's team, I need to be the best pitcher I can be. And for me to put the bat down for a little bit and really focus on that, I think it's going to help us overall as a team.
What were some of the things Coach wanted you to work on during the summer and the fall?
Cleaning up mechanics a little bit to be more consistent on the mound. I feel like, you know, me and Coach Gardner and Tadlock, Hayward and everyone throwing bullpens and stuff and just really ironing out some mechanical stuff that helped me a lot, I feel like.
So have they been grooming you to be a starter, reliever, or have they been grooming you to be a starter, reliever? I guess what's your potential role, I guess?
I'm just going to pitch how I pitch and do the best I can, and the chips fall where they may. We'll see what happens.
Hopeful to be a starter, though?
I guess so, yeah.
I guess just in terms of pitching staff, what's kind of impressed you just from the young guys or maybe the new guys that have kind of come in so far?
One guy that has stood out in my mind is Taylor Floyd from Grayson, junior college guy. Junior college guys are tough, mentally and physically, and he's a guy that's going to challenge hitters. He throws a lot of strikes. He's got good stuff, a lot of run on about a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and he really stood out to me. I think he's going to really help us out this year.
What specific pitches have you been working on to kind of sharpen up?
Really no new pitches or anything, just really working on release point to be more consistent with the pitches I threw last year, and probably just worked on the changeup a lot more into the offseason. This is the first fall I had where I was just a pitcher, and I feel like with that it's going to benefit me and the team going forward.
Does that kind of help you that in the fall you were just mainly kind of focusing on pitching?
I don't know if it was that or I don't know, and not that anything drastic has happened, but, maybe it did a little bit, just probably for more the mental side. It's harder the higher up you get to focus on hitting and pitching. So probably helped me, yeah.
So that means the Whammer nickname is gone?
That would hurt my feelings, honestly. I like that.
I can think of a new one for you then. How much of a boost to the rotation getting Caleb back this season?
Oh, huge, man. He was a guy last year. We'd flip the ball. He'd give you 6 or 7 every time, and he's going to compete no matter what. I'm really proud of that kid. He's a good dude.
How much does he help, I guess, the rest of the guys? I mean, he seems like a very calming influence, very quiet guy, at least when we talk to him.
Some people lead by voice, some people lead by example. Caleb's a guy that just goes out and does it and says, hey, here's your blueprint, younger guys, John, go do this.
It's just for you, I guess, what's the most exciting thing about starting up a baseball season, especially after a year like last year?
Baseball has always just been something I've enjoyed so much, and every year, you get a new group of guys together, and it's just like, let's go play, let's go play a game that we played since we were little kids. And I guess just from that aspect of it, like Tadlock was saying earlier, we're all just really excited, and that goes for me too. I'm just really excited to get out there and play baseball.
Perfection is always something baseball players look for. Obviously, you don't get to it at some points, but is that really the challenge for you, is just kind of getting that much closer to perfection, especially with your pitching?
I would never put too much pressure on anyone to be perfect. I know people talk about being perfect, but in terms of pitching, you hardly ever get a perfect game. It's something that's really hard to do. There's a lot of outside factors that go into it. But as long as we're just getting better every day, like Tadlock says, watering the tree, putting in a little work every day to get better, we'll be all right.
You mentioned some of the pitchers, new pitchers that you're excited about. Anybody else on the infield, maybe at bat that has caught your eye?
Otrimba, Tadlock said, he came in swinging the bat good from the get-go, and I can't think of everybody right now, but we've just got, it's a lot of new faces around, and just a lot of guys that that Tadlock has put here to succeed, and I'm excited about everyone, really.
There's so many new guys coming in. What are some of y'all returners telling them about all of the preseason hype that y'all are getting to kind of stay grounded and just go to work every day?
Well, I feel like our attitude towards it right now is kind of like, that's been something that's been there every year. I think every year I've been here, we've been top 5, top 10, whatever, and just you kind of got to shut that off and just know that it's about today and, this practice, what you're doing right now to improve so you can, you can make those rankings mean something come season time.
What's it like playing with Gabe Holt?
Gabe is a very exciting guy. He's really fast. Everyone talks about how fast he is. He is fast. He's really loose. Just a good baseball guy. A good personality to have out there. Well, there's a lot of reasons to come back and play. I loved it. I had the best time of my entire life last year, and I hope to do that again.
What have you been working on this off season? Specifically pitch-wise, anything?
Yeah, I'm actually learning a new pitch. I'm learning a slider right now, so hopefully that goes well, and I can throw that this season too.
Who's been like instrumental in helping you like with like the mechanics of that? Like how when did you start to try to implement that new pitch into your stuff?
That was this, I guess, winter. I started like messing around with it. Garner taught me it though, and I think it can be a really good pitch for me. I've always wanted to throw one, but I'm finally throwing it, and I'm excited to see how it works.
Does it feel like night and day from being at this point last year and your confidence and everything and how the season kind of went on for you in terms of how you feel now?
Yeah, I feel more confident, and I'm like the third oldest on the team now, which is really weird to think about because I feel like I just got here. But yeah, I guess I feel more confident. I guess I'm one of the leaders on the team, or try to be.
Along with that confidence, do you feel any more pressure as far as expectations as you guys head into this season?
I try not to think about that. I just go out there and pitch and do my thing.
Do you notice more people leaning on you and stuff, though? I mean, asking your advice compared to...
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
How do you handle that? How do you add that into all the stuff that you have to do personally just to get ready for something?
I just tell them my honest opinion. Hopefully it helps them out, but if some people come up to me, I guess Dusek helped me out when I first got here, and a lot of the older guys then. So I'm just trying to do what they did to me, and I mean, it seemed to help.
Caleb, I guess when you were kind of making your decision to come back or stay, obviously there's a little bit of back and forth. I guess what were some of the things that you kind of were told to kind of work on to make yourself that much more of a better pitcher going into your next season?
I would say consistency is the main thing. That's with every pitcher. If you go out there and have a good game every time or have consistency with every pitch every time, that's when you get good results, and that's when you become a good pitcher. So that's something I work on ever since I've got here.
I guess how do you kind of feel about the infield behind you? I know Josh is there, could be there. I guess what have you seen so far with all the guys that have kind of been mixed in?
Yeah, I think a lot of them will be returners because Josh is back, Cam, Brian. But yeah, we got a new shortstop, Noisy, I think is how you pronounce it. He looked really good in the fall, so I'm excited. I think it'll be just fine.
Back to that slider, like when is there like a timetable for that when you're going to decide if you want to like implement that in the regular season, or are you just going to throw it in a bunch of bullpens and you like the coaching staff will decide if you're ready to throw it, or what's like a timetable for it?
Yeah, I'm throwing it in bullpens right now. I'm planning on throwing it today in my inner squad, but I haven't thrown live since Omaha, so I don't really know how it's going to work, but I think it'll be fine.
Coming off last year, I guess, what are your biggest memories, and I guess does that kind of get flushed out now with the season starting again?
Yeah, it's a new season. That was the past. That was last year.
Is there anything, whether it's a certain series or just something in general, you're looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to starting. I mean, first game, I'm ready to go. I've been looking forward to that since last season ended.